I'd like to pick up a few comments, if I may. Martian Tom says she's a ranker. Freudian slipped him. No. The Robert Maitland says, with respect, whether this black hole is true or false, our country has so little to offer at the moment due to years of neglect, so a strong and committed budget is one way forward with no buts or maybes, just get on with it. A little bit of me is inclined to agree. The problem isn't people want to cast blame, and they want to look, and the Labour Party wants its mantra of 14 years of austerity. It's not true. If you go back to the early part of the Conservative period, it was really quite healthy, and the problem was Brexit, not helped by COVID, not helped by the stupidity of Liz Truss or Theresa May, and certainly not helped by the inadequacy of the last couple of years, where Rishi Sunak could have done something to establish his identity. If I had been Rishi Sunak, if I'd been advising Rishi Sunak, I would have told him to immediately call an international conference and put the 1951 Refugee Convention on the table and try to establish a revision of that reflected the concerns of America over its immigration, Europe increasingly over its immigration, and Britain over its immigration, so that we could define once and for all what is and what is not legal. For one nation to go it alone and play these stupid games, either with the ECHR or with nomenclature, this person is an illegal migrant, that person is not, simply because we've made a law. If our law doesn't cohere with international standards, then it's an absurdity. And that's what we've got at the moment. We have defined people into being illegal, into being criminals, simply because of the way they cross the channel, although the international standards which we have accepted, the 1951 Refugee Convention, says very clearly that it doesn't matter how somebody reaches our shores, as long as they claim asylum once they get here, they are not illegal. Unless we decide that they don't merit asylum, in which case they do become illegal migrants and then they are obliged to leave our country. Philip Carter makes a very interesting point about the Russell Brand story, and I must say I'm inclined to support this. Philip Carter says we've all slipped up in life, just move on, for God's sake. I think there is a point at which people should be able to turn the page, and I think we mistakenly look for blame when we should look for repair. And simply blaming somebody, simply dragging somebody's past indiscretions and stupidity and evil into the present day doesn't repair the damage which is done. Punishing Russell Brand for something that he did years ago doesn't restore the damage. We need to get it the other way round. We need to restore the damage. We need to look after the people who have been hurt. That, I think there should be no time limit on. But if there is time limit on some things legally, there should be time limit on all things legally. And, so often you find yourself thinking, oh my goodness, so this actually happened. I can now pursue a case through the courts. You're told, no, the time limit has gone by, though you've only just amassed the evidence. But not for Russell Brand. I am absolutely inclined to agree with you, Philip. Fib Chip says Sunak is auditioning for a lucrative job with big American corporations. Well, if he does as well in a lucrative job as he did as Prime Minister, that won't be very impressive. But if he were to repeat the mojo-enhancing performance of the time he spent as leader of the opposition, yes, I would have strong hopes for him. And as for Andrew, Shirley Porter says Andrew doesn't need this huge house. The king should sort things out and get Andrew out. Harry should have a proper home here, not as big, of course, as the one of awful Andrew's. Well, I agree. Harry should definitely have a home in the UK, and Andrew should know his place. As for the newspapers, they're festooned with front pages about the Duchy of Cornwall and the amount of money it makes for Prince William, and then also the money made for the King, and the charges made to the NHS and to the Army. I am inclined to agree that these charges should be waived, and if the King and the Prince of Wales wish to take the lead on this, that is one way that they can clearly move forward.